I'm going to start with my own introduction. Our theme is before and after. So before chiropractic school, I traveled to over 18 countries and shaved my head in an artist residency in Switzerland. Played capoeira for about 13 years in Brazil. It took me to Washington, D.C., and also was my final landing place here, how I got to the Bay Area. I played rugby for a team in Uganda. I was an acrobatics instructor, and I directed a pirate burlesque troupe. And now I run a chiropractic office, and I have an adorable little boy, and this is a photo that Morgan took of us in the redwood forest, and you can see he has enough attitude for everyone. I put all of that right in there. So what we're going to talk about today, I think is near and dear to everyone. It's innate intelligence. So I think everybody can kind of relate with the plant world. As you put a seed in the ground and it germinates, the roots go down, the plant goes up, and the plant just is signaled by the environment when to grow seeds and fruit. If there's not enough water or if it's too hot, it can shrivel and die. But the process is just entirely taken care of, and that is the innate intelligence of the body that we all have inside of us as well. So sperm and egg get together, it divides, it divides, it divides. And the very first thing, as you can see, we're kind of almost a little bit like plants. The roots go down, the leaves go up. Our brain and our spinal cord are actually the very first things that develop. And just like a plant, when we're in our ideal environment, we flourish. And when we're outside of our ideal environments, we don't flourish. And it's why having a really great referral team, so when people's nutrition isn't right, when their meridians are off, when their muscle tissue, when they can't have a proper gait pattern, I have a really, really good team that helps my patients. So we are comparing the body to a symphony. And the conductor is your brain. And the conductor makes sure, this is that innate intelligence, it makes sure that everything is in harmony, that everybody is on the same beat and tempo. It connects with your heart and your lungs, your digestive tract, all of your muscles control you. On average, there's about 1 billion chemical reactions every single second. You have about 37.2 trillion cells. So that leads to about 37,000 billion chemical reactions that are being coordinated by your brain, by your innate intelligence every single second. If you had to think about that, let me tell you, not happening. Carrie is our master multitasker, and even she couldn't do that. So how do we protect this very important system? We have a skull and vertebra that is around our brain and spinal cord. It is both mobile and it protects us. Now, it only takes the weight of a dime to change how the nervous system functions. So what happens when we're out of alignment? So think about your car, and you're driving down the highway and you start going faster and faster, and what happens to the car when it's out of alignment and it starts to go fast? It shakes. So what happens if you don't take care of that alignment or you try to make a correction? You could run off the road and have an accident. So people come to me at different stages in their life for correction, and one of the themes today is babies. People are like, what causes me to get out of alignment? How did this happen? How did I get here? And it's stresses. So we run on the computer. We had, even the most normal births can be traumatic, which is why it's really important for why I see pregnant ladies, why I take care of babies, is that we can experience as much as 7,000 traumas by the age of 7. And those traumas, those misalignments, that weight of a dime on your nervous system changes how the function happens. And when that ruts year after year after year, and you wake up at 30, 40, and 50 and be like, what happened? Why do I feel so different? Why am I not functioning correctly? It's because of the stresses, physical, chemical, and emotional. Birth, crawling, walking, sports, school. Your devices are making worse problems earlier for all of us. When you travel, when you have illness, injuries, repetitive microtrauma. I've got my computer set a little bit to the left. Children, both the joy of our life and the bane of our existence sometimes, can be a incredible microtrauma on a constant daily basis. And also the biggest joy of your life. So it's all the weight. I think I just missed it. There we go. Okay. So what happens to your spine with stress? So these are some before and after pictures, and these are people that came to me much later in life after lots of trauma. This person has neck pain, they have sleep apnea, they're not able to breathe because literally their throat compresses when they lay face down, and there's degeneration happening because that has been happening in their spine for a long time. Now, this is after a year and a half. They are much, much straighter. Their head has been back over their shoulders. We're opening up the space in their spine, and if you look, their shoulder, the tension in their shoulders has dropped so much, you can see an extra vertebra in their neck. This is a 20-year-old man who came and actually did 3 sessions of the nose ballooning, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. No other care other than 3 sessions over the course of a year, and look at his neck just came right back, and his head was literally to the side, is now sitting better on top of his shoulders. So proof is in the pudding. We take x-rays and we check and we measure our work. This is a nerve scan. This is a guy who was just real messed up, in a lot of pain, back, neck, kind of everything. We worked with him, and now he feels good. He doesn't have to see me very often because his nervous system, this is a measure of how well your brain is talking to your body, and it's a temperature scan of how your nerves are functioning, and we get to monitor not just your pain and symptoms, though that's very important, but that underlying function. How am I doing on time? Am I like talking really fast? 4.5 minutes. Oh dear. Okay. Talked way too fast. Remove the stress. So again, we adjust kids and babies. Like you can see also, this is Andre's daughter. She's been coming and getting adjusted. We've adjusted Scarlett. When they start getting checked, the spines that come to my office that were checked through their childhood are entirely different than adults that start chiropractic care when they're adults. They're much more responsive, they're healthier, they get out of pain better. And this is my son in the park. So remove the stress. And baby adjusting is incredibly gentle. It's not what we do with adults. We're not taking them and going crack, 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 you know, like some people get terrified of like, oh my God, how could you do that to a child? Their bones are basically cartilage, and we're just doing very gentle. We're making sure particularly the top bone in the neck is in place, the bottom, the sacrum is in place, and we're actually doing a lot of cranial work. Just making sure that their systems are functioning correctly. I took over an office that had been in Rockridge for 15 years, and I got to inherit families that have been coming 10, 15 years. They're children who were babies that are now adults and going off to college. And what the families reported to me is their kids were healthier, they didn't get sick as often, they didn't get injured, and if they did, they got out of it very quickly. So I highly encourage people to get their kids checked. So my theme is keeping you in the life you love, and one of the things that I think I do that is of most importance is I restore hope. People come, they think this is the end of the line, it's never going to be any different, I don't have any options, and that's often what they're being told is their options are drugs and surgery, because in the medical communities they don't have the tools that I have both in my office and in my referrals. So neck pain, back pain, hip pain. This is a big one. I have several older women in my office that have been complaining of hip pain, and these are long-term projects. It took at least 6 months with each of them. A couple clients from Lara that we've been working with together. One just got back from a vacation who a year ago, she wasn't basically able to participate on her family vacation because her legs didn't work correctly. And this time she said she was able to walk on the beach, and she just never thought that was going to be possible for her. And she walked on the beach with her family, with her grandkids. She got to have that part of her life back. And it wasn't a quick road. She had to come to see me. She did massage. She did craniosacral. Numbness, tingling, that's scary. Anybody have numbness and tingling in their hands ever? That stuff is scary. So giving people hope that it's not going to be like that. TMJ issues, vertigo. I've had several older patients who were so dizzy they couldn't wake up. If you've ever woken up with vertigo, it's a scary, scary thing. We can help get you out of that. Often it's just the neck that's misaligned. So I can walk without falling. I can walk with my family on the beach. I can exercise and get stronger. When the thorax is misaligned, those nerves going to your lungs, if you feel like you can't breathe, people who have asthma, we can help clear that up. And most importantly, I feel like myself again. I feel younger. One of the things that people report pain and discomfort happening is they feel 10, 20, 30 years older. So let's turn back the clock together and keep you in the life you love. Thank you.